What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a new insider leak on Spider-Man 2. Now, this is, take it with a huge grain of salt, okay? We have actually a couple things to talk about here. Number one, take it with a grain of salt, because the reasoning for knowing this information is pretty sketchy. Number two, it's pretty much a ripoff of what we have heard before about switching characters, about Peter Miles, and about a mysterious third character, but there is a little, and the reason I'm making this video, there's a little bit more info in terms of how swapping between the two actually work, okay? So that we'll talk about it as the video goes on. Again, take it with a grain of salt. This was found on 4chan, and pretty much it was I guess let's just read it. Hello, I saw an email a few weeks ago to do with Spider-Man 2 on the dark web. I won't show, and see, make sure you remember dark web. I won't show it myself out of respect because it contains the names and personal info of the Insomniac employees, and my device's black bar is made out a certain way to where you can still see censored text if you know how, but it contains some details about the gameplay loop. So again, a kind of a weak reasoning, but you know, we'll just keep reading what they say. I think a few months ago, someone came here saying that you'll be able to play every mission as either Peter or Miles. This isn't true. You'll be able to play all side missions as either, but you do switch between them often. Best way I can describe it is like Radiant Dawn or Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. In the later's case, every mission you play is done by a predetermined character, and in between missions, you can free roam and do side quests specific to that character, which is a lot like Ratchet and Clank, by the way. In Spider-Man 2's main story missions are done by a predetermined character, but in between, you can free roam the whole map and do side quests. For example, Peter does a certain mission and is knocked out, so the next mission is Miles checking on Peter and then doing something for him. In between Peter's mission, Miles' first and second missions, Miles can free roam and do side quests or crimes. But after the second mission, you resume control of Peter. Also remember those moments where the game encouraged you to do side quests while waiting for something to happen for the main quest. This game has more of that to encourage roaming as both characters. Side quests will also have different dialogue depending on who you do it as and what order. No elaboration on that. There's a third character who mixes into all of this, but they cannot free roam, with a different playstyle that straight up kills people and uses smoke, projectiles, and a type of organic or artificial tentacles based on some instruction animators received for hit react animations. Another earlier leak claimed this is Wrath or Yuri, and while I believe that, it's also more reasonable to assume this is a black suit Peter. So again, nothing too different, although I think the explanation could have actually been a little bit more simple, but who am I to talk, rambling in these videos. But the, explaining how the swapping of characters works, I think you could have done it better than how this person did. But again, there were some English mess ups there, so maybe English isn't the primary language. But I think they did an okay job, right? So pretty much, here's what I would do. Describe Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which, not everybody played, and that came from Insomniac. That would probably be a pretty good comparison of what to expect here, right? So I guess what they said, you play as Peter. When you're playing as Peter, do whatever you want. Do the side missions, do the crimes. You're not going to be able to do, say, the same, well, maybe you could do this, like, the same side mission twice in a New Game Plus or whatever, but, when they're side missions, you can do them as either Peter or Miles, but you're not going to literally be able to just click a button, like click R2, and switch between, or the touchpad, and switch between Peter and Miles at will. You'll have your time with Peter, you'll have your time with Miles, and so I guess what they're saying is when you have that time with those characters, make sure you're doing side activities around the world, because when you switch to the other one, you will be stuck with the other one for a designated amount of time, and then there will be that third character, again, making it pretty simple. There'll be the third character that it can just do story stuff. And I would imagine, now, I guess Yuri, right, was something that people had come up with. Venom has been another one. I think the black suit Peter does make the most sense, right, because it's still, I don't know, I can imagine it even from like an animation point of view, a gameplay point of view, like just having a third version of, a Peter or a Miles as a third character. And why, you could think about it this way, if that third character can't play free roam, can't do side missions, so they're limited, like you'd purposely want to limit them from like a story perspective, what kind of fits that role? I think when Peter gets the black suit, right, you'll have your story moments with him. You'll probably be limited to miles in that moment for free roaming, for side missions, for stuff like that. And then if you do main missions, there'll maybe be like an arc in the game where you will play as the black suit Peter, but you can only again do main missions. So that makes sense with or without this leak, okay? And I've been saying that for a while. So hopefully it does happen. I think this, while I do want to be able to, at a whim, just press a QuickTime button and swap between the two characters literally at any moment, almost, I guess, like a GTA thing, right? While I would like that, it does make sense to do it like Ratchet and Clank, considering Ratchet and Clank just came out a year ago. It's Insomniac. It worked pretty well. The idea that, you can kind of do whatever you want, but then once you switch to Rivet and then you go to Ratchet back and forth, you're stuck with them. And you can free roam, you can do whatever you want, but then you have to do the main mission and then you'll most likely swap back. And that's, I don't think that's a bad thing as of right now. We'll see how they implement it. We'll see if this is even true in the first place, though. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. If you want to follow me anywhere else, all my social media, including our Patreon and YouTube memberships, are in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next video.